Hello everyone, and welcome to the second segment of our today's lecture. We're going to be talking about spelling this time around. And like I said previously, we have issues. There are discrepancies between the spelling of words and the way the words are being pronounced. But that is not really the only problem we have with pronunciation. We also have the dilemma of the presence of varieties of the English language. In Nigeria, for example, we have the British English existing side by side the American English in the usage of English in Nigeria. Sometimes you encounter a spelling C-O-L-O-U-R for color, and in other documents you encounter C-O-L-O-R for the same word, color. Now, both of them are correct. Both of them are right in their own right. And you can use any one of them. But the issue is consistency. Whether you use the British, you must be consistent in British spelling. And if you want to use American English, you must be consistent in American spelling. But I always advise my students stick to British spelling, not because American spelling is wrong, but because that is what we are used to in Nigeria. Most of the grammar we learned in primary through secondary is British grammar. And both varieties have differences in their grammar constructs. They have differences in the pronunciation, have differences in the choice of words, the vocabulary, and even have differences in spelling, as can be seen on your screen. So stick to British spelling. We also have issues with word configuration. Any student will notice that sometimes it's very confusing whether to use the IE or to use the EI in spelling a word. Now, there is this general rule, but like every rule, there are exceptions. Now, the general rule is if the IE or the EI is going to come after the sounds, please use the EI spelling. For example, receive, seize, conceive. But if it's going to come after the L alphabet, please use IE. For example, believe. But like I said, there are exceptions to the rule, and your dictionary comes handy in settling any issue of word configuration. Also, there are some words that appear, the way appear can sometimes be misused because the language learner doesn't really know the difference between one and the other. I had that problem at some point, but I was able to overcome it, and I'd like to share a few of these words with you. Now, there is a choose and there is a choose. Now, the choose with a double O is a present tense form, whereas the choose with the single O is a past participle form. And of course, you have the lose, which with a double O simply means something that is free. You could have a knot that is loose, all right? Whereas the lose with a single O means something that is misplaced. And you can go on and on. There are other words there. We have affect and effect. We have desert. We have desert. We have supper. We have super. We have diner. And we have dinner. And then we have diner. And then we have costume and custom. It's important that the student understands that even though these words appear to be similar in their pronunciation, sometimes in the spelling, they're actually different words. So you need to learn them. We also have some words that should be split and other words that should never be splitted. We have nearby, should always appear together. We have another, typewriter, playboy, nevertheless, in the go, gainsay, watchword, background, churchyard, grandparents. Now, you do not split these words. But there are some words which appear like this, but have their counterparts in the split form. Remember that their counterparts have different meanings. Again, consult your dictionary to know the difference between the words when they appear together like already and when they are stated like already. They are different words. And then, of course, we have the possessive, the apostrophe S and the S apostrophe. My students always ask me, when do I use apostrophe S? When do I use S apostrophe? There is a very simple, rule to follow. When you are using a possessive apostrophe S with a noun that ends with an S, please add only the apostrophe, do not put a second S. But if it's a word or a noun that doesn't end with an S, then use the apostrophe S. For example, the girl faces. Now, if it was just the singular girl, then you will have apostrophe after the L and then an S after the apostrophe before you have faces. But since it's a plural form of the noun girl, already having an S, that's why you have just an apostrophe after it. Same thing with women. Women, we know, is a plural form, but the manifestation of this plural form does not have an S in it. Women, not women's. All right? And so because even though it's a plural form, it doesn't end with an S, we have the apostrophe S after it. And then for names as well, take note of that. When you say in Jesus' name, because the name Jesus ends with an S, then the possessive should just be reflected by the apostrophe after the name. Do not include another S after the apostrophe. All right. In this class today, we have looked at a common problem facing second language users of English. We have looked at the discrepancy between spoken and written forms in the English language. We have identified the 44 English sounds that every language learner should know in order to interpret transcriptions provided in the dictionary. Now, I know it may sound very difficult, but with constant practice, especially of the exercises that have been provided for you in your recommended course text, the student, you will definitely be on your way to achieving competence in the use. Much for participating in this class. I look forward to seeing more of you in other classes. God bless you. Bye-bye.